What's up, guys?
On this week's show,
I have served. I will be of service.
I'll be back.
And Sonic needs a few more minutes in the oven
All that and more on this episode
of One Giant Leap for Geeks.
Cue the music.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for
Geeks. Welcome to another episode of OGLFG, where we talk about movies, video games, and all things in geek culture. I'm your host, Mike C. Squared. With me is my co-host, DJ Melly Mel.
Hey, did y'all miss me?
Before we get started, I want to let you know, if you enjoyed the show, tell some friends about us. Share us on your social media, whatever you choose to do. Just know that you're helping us let others know about the best damn podcast they've probably never heard of. Now, if you want to talk to us, the show is on Twitter at Giant Leap, the number 4 Geeks. You can get a hold of our returned resident DJ Melly Mel at Froggy Beaver, and Benoit is at Benoit Gaming. That's BENWAH Gaming.
If you're like me and around my age, you're a sucker for nostalgia, especially 80s and 90s. I'm talking music, movies, television, games, just pop culture as a whole. So, if you're from mid-Michigan or going to be traveling to the area, I suggest you check out Rewind and Birch Run. Rewind is a vintage-inspired blast from the past with not just cool trinkets and novelty items, but dope gear to rock as well. I'm talking shirts, jackets, caps, and even sneakers. Retro styles to make your inner child smile. Absolutely, positively, definitely check out Rewind. You might even see your boy Benoit copping something old school or shooting the breeze with the owner, Tyler. Rewind is right off of I-75, exit 136 in the Birch Run Premium Outlets, Section E, next to Crocs.
What you been doing?
Well, I got back from vacation, and I missed everybody.
Yeah, I know. You were gone for 2 weeks.
I know. It was very sad.
Yeah.
1 week I was actually on vacation. The second week I was recuperating from the vacation.
God damn.
To be fair, I wasn't on vacation for 2 weeks.
Sure. She just didn't want to come back. She was like, fuck that.
No, like we didn't. We got back so late. I drove for like half the trip back on no sleep.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I needed a day to sleep.
Yeah.
I wasn't coherent at all. I don't know how I made it back, because I started driving at like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were still in Louisiana.
Ooh.
And then I didn't stop driving until we were almost to Indianapolis.
Nope.
Straight through.
Nope.
And that's because everybody else in the car was sleeping.
We'd have been in a fucking median dead because I'd have fell asleep driving.
Yeah,
nope, couldn't do it.
Surprisingly, I didn't get as tired as I did when we went on the Washington trip. Like that, I swear to God, we almost died about 3 times. This one wasn't so bad. Other than that, my basement flooded on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I got ankle deep water in my basement and had to relight my pilot light on my hot water heater.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Thankfully, we didn't lose nothing.
Was the washer and dryer good?
Washer and dryer's good.
Okay.
We didn't, and if it wasn't, we are still paying on them, so they're under warranty. My sister-in-law lost a couple of extension cords and her TV and her straightener and a heater.
Damn.
But it's like less than $100 worth of stuff. So
still though, it sucks to.
Yeah. So
now you're in the basement flood club.
Well, I mean, we've got it all cleared out, and nothing's molded, thank God, because we all got
cement
down there.
Yeah, brick.
We've got everything dried out, and everything's in my living room, so I have to just put everything back in the basement.
Right.
Because I have another sister-in-law coming in on Sunday. I'm like, here we go.
Yep. That's like good. The whole Get Money crew.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So I got to put the house back together before they get there on Sunday, because they're not going to have a place to sleep if I don't. And also, my room is a mess from everything before we went on vacation, and then everything for vacation, and nobody's going to have a place to sleep. Like, if you don't already have a bed at my house, tough luck. Sorry. What about you, Mike? What you been doing? I feel like it's been forever since I've been able to say that.
I know, right? Yeah. I usually have little fun anecdotal or embarrassing stories and stuff like that. This week was kind of lackluster. I didn't do anything, noteworthy per se to talk about.
You sent all the excitement my way.
Yeah. Comic-Con was, a week ago now, so that's in my rearview mirror. I guess. I mean, for those who've listened for a while, I mean, I work retail, so I had the whole Memorial Day weekend thing. Yeah, so that was terrible, but
Isn't it always?
Yeah, it is what it is. I guess one thing of note, where I work at, they had some food trucks, and I got to get some, food off the food truck. So it kind of reminded me of when we went on vacation to Austin. It made me miss that a lot because the food down there was just.
You should go to the food truck festival with me this summer.
Oh yeah, no, I totally yes,
yes. We're down.
yes. That is definitely gonna happen.
It's like once a week on Thursdays.
Oh hell yeah!
Or once a month on Thursdays. That's
okay.
What it is. Once a month on Thursdays at 3:00.
It needs to be more frequent than that.
Well,
that's bullshit. But I mean, other than that, no, nothing really of note to talk about. So
okay.
I lived this week, so
hey,
I existed.
You survived.
Yep, made it through one more week, one more step closer to death. So
say, what's that song? I made it through the wilderness. This is why I don't sing.
Yeah.
It
wasn't even the singing. It was just like the song itself. I was like, I don't know if I like that one. Anyway, moving on.
Welcome back, DJ Melly Mel. You weren't gone long enough for me to miss you, but just long enough to make me not care that you were gone. That's as nice as I'm going to be today. So deal with it.
Arnold is back in
Sarah Connor.
Okay. God damn it. Okay.
I'm sorry. Did I ruin it?
No, I have to say this at the beginning. I'm done with the Terminator franchise.
Thank you.
I am so done.
Who was asking for this shit?
Terminator 1 and 2 are some of the best action movies that have ever been put on film.
Yeah.
T2 is so good.
Of course.
So good. Everything after that is shit. And it's just like different like grades of shit. I'm
nodding along for those who can't see.
Yeah, right, vigorously. I don't get why they can't get this franchise right, because Terminator 3 is bad.
Very bad.
that one is just bad. They're like, we'll have him fight a girl Terminator this time, and it's like, that don't make the movie no better. And the thing I've always wanted from the Terminator franchise after T2 was I wanted to see the continuing story of John Connor.
Right.
Like, I wanted to see him grow into the person that we see in the future who leads the resistance against the machines. We never really get that. Now, Terminator Salvation, I think that's one with Christian Bale. Mm-hmm. We kind of sort of get that, but we've skipped over so much time to that point where it's just like, that don't even feel like the same person no more.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know.
It's like the guy from The Matrix. They're all called Mr. Smith.
Right,
but they're all different Mr. Smiths.
Well, my thing is this. I know because he had his own issues and all that, but I really wish we could have kept Edward Furlong as John Connor, the kid from T2, and watched him progress to the John Connor that is in the future. That ain't ever gonna fucking happen.
No.
But they tried to kind of sort of get back on track with Terminator, what was just the very last one that just came out? It was basically like a reboot, pretty much.
Is that the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
No, that was a show.
That was the show. No, there was a movie too, I thought.
No. Sarah Connor Chronicles was a show. It was on Fox. I watched it. It was shit.
It was shit.
Yeah.
It's up to.
I told you, it's all shit. Terminator Rise of the Machines or some such
Maybe.
shit.
That sounds familiar.
I think that's 3, though. Who fucking cares? Anyway, it's the one that came out with the girl from Game of Thrones. She was in it.
Yeah.
And our boy Captain Boomerang from Suicide Squad, he was in it too. He plays Kyle Reese. But that was basically like a reboot of the original movie. Like they did the CG Arnold and all that, and it was like, oh, you know, she got the Arnold Terminator that came back to kill her from the first one to like be good, and then they help him, and it's kind of like,
I saw this movie.
Yeah, callback. Yeah, because the bus flips over on the San Diego Bridge and all that. Yeah,
I've seen this movie.
Shit. That one,
it sucked.
That one, they were, because John Connor comes back and he's a machine this time.
Yep.
They all I wanted to see was just John grow up to be that guy, and for them to get some kind of closure to the story. But it's like every movie, they just can't quite seem to figure out why we like the Terminator franchise in the first place. And now everybody's so fucking old, where I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
Right, we're done past it.
Sure, it's cool that Sarah Connor's back. That's cool. You know, we got Linda Hamilton back. Yay. But do we care anymore at this point?
I was telling T-Money what we were talking about today, and he's like, oh, okay, so what trailer are y'all talking about? And I was like, I remember, but I don't remember. And that's how insignificant this is. And so I told him, and he's like...
I made the notes, and I almost forgot.
He's like, oh, yeah. So, Sexy Lexi was talking about how, this chick comes in with a machine gun, and I was like, I bet you it's Sarah Connor.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, he watches the trailer, and she's like, I'm Sarah Connor. Yeah. And I was like, see, told you.
Yeah.
For everyone out there, Sexy Lexi's my niece that we just went and picked up. She's coined herself Sexy Lexi.
I was going to say, I'm like, where did that nickname come from?
That's not from me. She likes to be an adult, so let her be an adult.
Shout out to Sexy Lexi.
Whatever makes her happy.
But they show Arnold in the trailer for like a second.
I saw that.
And I'm just like, I'm confused.
Are you still alive?
Well, okay. The theory is that who we see in the movie, in the trailer, is not the Terminator Arnold, but the person that they modeled the Terminator after. Because they made that model after an actual person.
Right.
In the whole mythology of Terminator or whatever. Right. It was an actual guy that looked like that, and they took his build and face and all that and made the, T-800. But I don't know if that's what he is, or if he's just an aged Terminator, because, he has the whole, human skin over the metal skeleton and shit, so he does age, quote unquote, like as far as his appearance. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I guess he's a Terminator. He might just be a dude. I mean, I don't even fucking know, but they barely show him in the trailer. But the little bit that we do know about the movie is they're trying to protect this girl. It takes place in like Mexico City and I think maybe San Francisco or something like that. And there's like a new Sarah Connor. It's the young girl that they're trying to protect in this one, and she's the key to some such shit. How it relates to anything that's happened up until this point.
She's like half human, half Terminator, but 75% human and 25% Terminator.
Well, the girl that's protecting her, yes, but the girl who is being protected herself is just a person, I guess. I don't know. How she relates to any of this, I don't know, because they're pulling the Halloween, and they're ignoring everything besides T1 and T2, and they're just like, none of that other shit happened. We just gonna Terminator 1, 2, and then this. Like, everything else, fuck all that shit. I think that this is supposed to be a trilogy as well, but I'm like, good luck with that shit. Every Terminator movie that's come out since T2 was supposed to have been a trilogy, and none of them ever connect to the last one. It's just like, we're pretending like the last movie didn't happen, and the last one didn't happen, and the last one before that didn't happen.
We're up to 7 now. None of them exist.
Pretty much the only thing that's canon is T1 and T2, and everything else is just like, if you want it to be, you can pretend it's part of it, but not really. I
don't care. Like, honestly,
I don't either. I'm trying here, guys.
I've never been a fan of the Terminator movies.
The first 2 are good.
I mean, I liked the first one. The second one was pretty good. But as far as be like, oh, well, I can't wait for the next one, or, oh, I need a conclusion to this, or, stuff like that, I didn't really care. By T2, I lost. I lost it at the end of T2. I'm just like, all right, I get it.
What frustrates me As James Cameron directed the first two movies, and
he directed this too.
He's a producer on this
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry, he produced
But I'm
this.
pretty sure he was a producer, or at least he gave the okay for the last one. This is what frustrates me, because people are like, "Oh, we get James Cameron back. Like, we all get your dicks hard. Like, get ready, because he's back." I don't care, because he has lied to me for the last, like, 2 other Terminator movies, because every time one comes out, he's like, no. That other shit, trash. Garbage. This right here, this shit is the good shit. Like, this is going to be the one. And then it comes out and it's bullshit. And then a new movie come out and he's like, no. Remember what I said before? Fuck all that shit. This right here, this one, this is the good one. And it's like, I don't believe you anymore.
Right. Fool me once.
Right, shame on you, yeah. Or
fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice. Yeah. I feel like Bush and shit. It's like, you fool me, can't get fooled again. All right, that's the whole point of this shit.
Oh my god!
But he is executive producing this, and he did the story for it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I guess that kind of sort of gives me hope. But I'm just like, I don't know, man. Avatar was whack. Like,
Avatar sucks.
Avatar is garbage.
I know that.
That movie made a bunch of money because it was some 3D shit, and we had just made a big leap in CG, but it's not a good movie.
I know a lot of people are going to come at us for that, but I hated Avatar.
Avatar is whack.
It was horrible.
And the fact that he's making like 9 other movies, I'm like, why? Who? Oh my god, Disney is just giving him a blank check, and they just like, go do your thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
So. Plus, too, he a fucking superhero movie hater, so he already on my shit list. Because I'm like,
who hates on superhero movies?
Because he's like, I'll be ready for Avengers fatigue to set in. And it's like, really? But you finna make 36 Avatar movies, but we supposed to be hyped for that shit? Nah, son. Nah.
How many blue genies do we need?
Pretty much. I don't know. I mean, for all I know, this could be good. I mean, they are doing some different things. I do think it's cool that this new Terminator in this, where he's like a mix of the T-800 and the T-1000, where he's like the skeleton underneath, but he has the liquid metal outside too, and they can like go as separate like things and shit.
Yeah.
Because you see him come off and jump on the hood of the truck, but then the other one's still driving and shit. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
I like how the thing was like impaled and then still living.
Like that was cool. And from what we do know, it seems like the girl that's helping protect the younger girl, that she is a human, but she's been like enhanced. So she's basically,
she's got vibranium in her.
Yeah. I was gonna say she's basically like Wolverine and some shit.
Not vibranium. What is
Adamantium.
it? Adamantium.
Yeah, she's basically Wolverine, or the guy who played the Terminator in Terminator Salvation with Christian Bale, where he was a human that they turned into a Terminator. Because she's got like scars on her and shit, and when they throw that spear and it like cuts her forearm, she has like some kind of meshy metal shit underneath her, because she says, I am human.
Right.
But you're clearly not just a normal person, so it's like whatever.
She's got adamantium.
The dopest part, though, the one cool thing in the whole trailer, was when she's fighting the other Terminator, and she fucking takes a sledgehammer to his knee and shit, and hits him in the face. That was dope. I'll give him that. But other than that, I'm like,
hey, I'm always down for someone to whack somebody with a sledgehammer.
Right,
especially in the kneecaps. I don't know. I think I was maybe a mob wife in a previous life or something. Whack him at the kneecaps.
Yeah, you might got some kind of weird, crazy shit going on there.
I don't know. Might have to get that looked into.
But no, other than that, I don't. There was nothing about this that got me excited.
No.
I was just like, yeah, it's another Terminator movie, I guess.
Right.
Whoop-de-fucking do. Hopefully this is the last one. Hopefully, because
I told T-Money, I was like, I ain't going to see that.
My question is, do you think that these movies can exist without Arnold? Because once he's dead or too old to do this, like, this has got to be his last movie.
That's what I mean. When he popped up in the trailer, I was like, dude, you're still alive?
Yeah, Arnold's not dead, no.
Man, he getting up there, though.
Yeah. But I mean, do you think that they can keep making these? I mean, if this is successful, let's just pretend that this movie's just dope as shit. And they're like, this is the true successor to T2, and this is the, the official continuation of this story, and this is what we're going to run with. Can you keep making movies after that when Arnold's not in the picture anymore.
I think they're gonna try, just because they've gotten so much like build up on Sarah that.
Yeah, but Linda Hamilton, she ain't
Well,
gonna do too many more of these either, though.
Still, they have enough back lore, I guess, that they can kind of pick and choose something without Arnold.
Can they, though?
They can try.
Because, I mean, this whole franchise, I mean, even when he's not in the movie, quote-unquote, he's still in the... Even in Terminator Salvation, he's not in that until, like, the very, very end. And they basically just CG'd his face onto a Terminator's body. But still, they had to put Arnold in the movie. Like,
right.
I don't think you can make this franchise and not have Arnold in it. I just don't.
I don't think it would work well, but I think that they'll try it.
Yeah, we'll see. He is the Terminator. I mean, you say that, the first thing, I will be back, and, you know, like...
I mean, that's true. You...
Get down.
You really can't say the word Terminator and not think Arnold.
No.
At least not...
He's synonymous with
not
the
anybody
franchise.
who's ever seen the originals.
Oh, yeah. Or any of them. That's what I say. He's in every one.
Just in general, like maybe some of the younger kids, they're not gonna know.
Sure.
But like people our age and a little bit younger than us.
Oh yeah.
Of course, people older than us. You can't say Terminator and not think Terminator.
Yeah.
Arnold.
The man is the brand shit.
It just don't work like that.
But I mean, we'll see. I mean, this is coming out later this year. I mean, I guess once another trailer comes out, hopefully we'll learn a bit more about the story, and maybe they'll do something, show me something that'll get me excited for it.
Maybe.
But just where it stands right now, I'm like, meh.
This one's not making the ever-growing box office list yet.
Hell no. Like, my dick ain't hard for this shit.
I'll say there are 15 other movies that we named off last night that we want to see.
Right, literally.
we were sitting in the middle of the theater and named off 15 of them that...
Yeah. That we and Terminator Dark Fate did not end up on the list.
Nope, it was not one of them. Although the Dark Phoenix was. I saw another trailer of it.
I did too. I'm still not. No. No. Off principle, because I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Bring them into the MCU. Anything else you doing, if they not part of the Avengers squad and shit, I don't care about nothing else y'all doing with them.
I can get behind that.
Kill all that shit. Anyway, moving on.
One day in the future I will be able to use this iconic line. I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue, over a metal endoskeleton. Mind you, I will be saying this as I am crushing your skull.
So I wanted to do something a little bit different this week. Every week when I'm putting together the show notes, I'm always coming across stories that I want to talk about, but they're never enough substance to it to make it its whole own thing.
Okay.
So I'm like, I wanted to do something different this week. And
so if we pick multiple, then
yeah,
we'll
just little, little snippet, newsy things, and figure out, give a little info dump. We'll discuss it and then move on to the next thing.
Okay.
So I am dubbing this one.
Let's see, we got Benoit's Rabbit Hole.
Yeah.
And My Dumb Shit. And let's see, we'll do Mike's Movie Madness. No? I tried.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, A for effort. I don't know.
Mike's Movie Moments?
Yeah.
No. We'll have to play with it.
Yeah.
See what we can do. Anyways.
Yeah, movie news for your boobs. I don't know. Something. We'll figure it out.
we'll get it. We'll fine tune it.
Anyway, so for the first story, I wanted to talk about the Akira movie. And I'm getting this from the Hollywood Reporter. Taika Waititi's Akira has a release date. It will open on May 21st, 2021. Warner Brothers announced Friday. Akira is set to open opposite Lionsgate's John Wick Chapter 4. Spoiler alert, there will be a John Wick Chapter 4. Earlier this week, Warner Brothers moved its animated movie DC Super Pets off of the weekend, pushing it back to the year 2022. A live-action Akira has long been discussed in Hollywood. Back in 2012, a version that would have starred Garrett Hedlund was shelved, with various filmmakers coming and going on the project that would have been an Americanized version of the story. Waititi is expected to go a more authentic route, stating back in 2017 that he would want to cast Asian actors in the roles. Now, I wanted to bring this up because Akira is the staple anime that brought a lot of people in the United States into the whole anime culture and got us into anime in the first place. I mean, it came out in 1990. It was basically, if you've seen Chronicle is pretty much kind of sort of a ripoff of Akira. It's these two friends. They are in like a biker gang. One of them gets taken to this science thing where they do these experiments on him to unlock his like hidden psychic potential. He gets telekinesis and goes crazy and like pretty much tries to destroy all of Tokyo. I'm oversimplifying the fuck out of it, but it's really good. The animation is really, really good, and it's actually a good story as well. So that's coming out, and I'm curious now. I know you've never seen Akira.
No, I never even heard of it.
But you have seen at least a Taika Waititi movie, which was Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
So that movie is heavy on the comedy. Akira is not a comedy at all. If anything, it's like science fiction horror at best.
Okay.
Do you think that he could helm something like this, and do you think that he would take it to a more comedic route, or do you think he could surprise us like Jordan Peele, and even though he comes from a comedic background, he can do something more serious and dark?
I mean, he could make it all Jordan Peele-y and kind of go serious and dark. I think there's a fine line between comedy and horror.
Yeah.
That a lot of people try to walk.
Right.
And they'll try to be on the side of horror, and it just ends up being funny. I mean, look at several of the Chucky movies.
Yeah. yeah.
Even the original Chucky movies.
Oh, yeah.
I never once thought that Chucky was scary. It was entertaining, but I never thought he was scary. So, I mean, they could do something similar to that where they're trying for the horror, but end up with maybe not necessarily something funny, but something more its own kind of genre.
That's fair. I think that he's gonna have his comedic elements in it because that's just what he does. But
right.
At the same time, I think that he could surprise us and pull a Jordan Peele and actually come out with a good science fiction horror movie. Because we know he can do the science fiction-y shit. I mean, he made fucking Thor Ragnarok. So,
right.
You know, that's some space, intergalactic, crazy shit. So it's like, clearly he can do it. And I have a lot of hope in this because he has come out and said he would want to cast Asian actors. He's not going to be like, instead of Neo Tokyo, was like Neo New York. And it's like, no, don't do that. Don't. Just like, and, you know, Ashton Kutcher and Zac Efron is Kaneda. And like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that.
So I have a lot of hope for this. I'm really looking forward to it. It's coming out May 21st, 2021. So we'll probably get our first trailer for it sometime next year, give or take like late 2020, maybe early 2021. We'll see. But for the next story, the director of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, Jeff Fowler, he came out and he put out a tweet that has a little sign, and Sonic's holding it, and it says February 14th, 2020. And he said, taking a little more time to make Sonic just right. Hashtag no VFX artists were harmed in the making of this movie. So because they are redesigning the character of Sonic, we talked about this before, they are going to have to delay the movie.
Of course.
So that was kind of a given. I mean, honestly, I think it's a twofold issue. I think, one, they are doing this to give them more time to redesign the character.
Sure.
Because it ain't just like they can just hit, you know, a button that just says redesign and they just fix it. Like, you have to do everything all over again. But I also think that they're pushing it back to February because that's kind of been traditionally the month that you just dump shit movies. Mm-hmm. February is not a good month for movies.
No.
Now, Deadpool did well in February, but that was kind of a... Fox never really had hope in that, and that was kind of a surprise hit. Like, we as fans knew that Deadpool could be a good movie, but Fox never believed in the property on its own. Ryan Reynolds pretty much had to, like, blackmail the motherfuckers to put Deadpool out, so...
Yeah, I think he did most of the marketing and stuff for that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that whole, like,
He's the one that increased the budget.
Secret released like footage, like the whole proof of concept, the scene where he's in the car and on the expressway and it's flipping over and all that shit.
Yeah.
He released that on purpose so people could see it as like a proof of concept and go, yes, we can make this and this can be good. And Fox was finally like, oh, fuck it, just make the goddamn movie.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm of two minds about this. Like I said before, and we talked about this the last time, I'm happy that they are going to redesign Sonic.
Me too.
So he will hopefully look more like his traditional, video game counterpart.
He can't look any worse.
Well, don't say that, because you saw what they did the first time.
Yeah,
He will come out and look real horrible.
He can't look any worse.
But at the same time, it's still going to be a bad movie.
Oh, I'm for certain of that.
So we'll have a good-looking Sonic in a bad movie. So, I mean, is that better?
No.
Yeah, so I'm like, just redo the whole everything. Just all that shit.
Scrap it, start over.
Yeah, so.
If you can have Gemini Man in production since 97, you can fix Sonic, okay?
Yeah, we'll see.
What's another year or two?
Yeah, right. So mark your calendars, kids. February, is that Valentine's Day?
February 14th is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so yeah, it's coming out Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Next year.
They're not giving this movie any hope.
No.
Because only the
couple is... If you were my significant other, if I was a girl and you were my boyfriend, you said, girl, I'm finna treat you good tonight. We finna go see Sonic. You will never get your dick touched again for the rest of your...
The only way that I can think of this is if people with kids take their mom out for Valentine's Day and they're like, come on, Mom, we're going to go see... I'm gonna take you to a movie. Okay, what are we gonna go see? We're gonna go see Sonic. And I'm talking like little 8-year-olds are like, hey.
And she's like, oh, okay, honey, well, let me just go in the bathroom and get ready real quick. And all you hear is just fucking choke herself to death before she goes see that bullshit.
No, I mean, I guess if your birthday's on Valentine's Day, then that'd be something for a little kid. Be like, hey.
Yeah, so A-Train, if you're listening, get ready, because next year we're gonna go see Sonic for Valentine's Day.
Don't do that to that girl.
No.
That's horrible.
Oh.
No, don't do that.
But all right. So for our next one, Harrison Ford is an asshole. I just want to
knew that.
Yeah, I just want to clarify for anybody who ever didn't know that. Yeah, he is an asshole. He said this in a joking way, but I don't think he was playing.
Probably not.
So he was on the Today Show, and he was asked, who would he like to see take over as Indiana Jones once he's not doing it anymore?
Oh, I heard about this on the radio this morning.
And he said, nobody's going to be Indiana Jones.
I am.
He's like, don't you get it? I'm Indiana Jones. He said, when I'm gone, he's gone. It's easy. He's like, why can't you get that through your head? He was like, there is no Indiana Jones without me. And I was like, he like put his hand on the reporter's shoulder, and he was just like, bitch, I am Indiana Jones. and he said it he kind of laughed it off, but I don't think he was playing.
Nah, he was being serious.
And he was like, and he says, well, this is a hell of a way to tell Chris Pine this. He was like, I'm sorry, man, but you ain't gonna be Indiana Jones, because they keep talking about doing a reboot.
Sure.
And I don't know if it's Chris Pine or Chris Pratt. One of the Chris's, somebody is supposedly been rumored to.
One of the Chris's of the MCU.
Yeah,
there's only 4 to pick from.
Right. So somebody might be rebooting this shit. Who fucking knows? I don't know.
You mean they don't want to bring back Shia LaBeouf? He was the son in the...
No, I know what you were referring to. I seen that bullshit. Shia LaBeouf don't want to bring back Shia LaBeouf. Hell no.
He's done. He
done gave up on his own self. He's
like,
fuck it.
Michael Bay killed me here. I'm out.
He said, I'm done. Like, he too busy yelling at the sky or some crazy shit. I don't know what the fuck he doing now. Yeah, but I just thought that was funny, because I was like, but at the same time, I agree. I wouldn't necessarily want to see nobody else as Indy.
I wouldn't either.
Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. Like,
I mean, they made that character for him. Specifically.
Exactly.
Like
my thing is this. I'm going to sound like Benoit for a second here, but make something else.
Right.
Make a Nathan Drake movie. People have been wanting an Uncharted movie for years. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily want Nathan Fillion to do it, because I think his time has passed to be that character at this point. But still, it's like, you can make an Indiana Jones movie, but it don't have to necessarily be Indiana Jones. Right. You get what I'm saying? So, No. I agree with you, Mr. Ford. You are indie. There will not be another indie. At least not in my mind. I ain't supporting that bullshit. And then for our last little story here, Todd McFarlane is still threatening us with the Spawn movie. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the character.
Yet?
No, I like the character of Spawn. I have a guilty pleasure. That would be one of my guilty pleasure movies. Is the Spawn movie from the 90s? It's bad, but I like the character, so I was like, I'll let it go.
I can kind of agree with.
If for no other reason,
Like I have my collection of. Wow, these are really bad.
Oh yeah.
I like them anyway.
If for no other reason, I like it because I like John Leguizamo as the clown. Like he does a really good job. Maybe everything else around that movie is terrible, but he is a good vindicator.
I would say I like him in almost everything.
Oh yeah, John Leguizamo. He was my Michael Pena before there was a Michael Pena.
Yep.
But Tom McFarlane came out in an interview with comicbook.com, and he pretty much gave an update saying that there are financial backers that he needs to impress with the screenplay. Mm-hmm. But basically, he's like, I got shit ready, lined up to go. I just got to get everybody on board. But if they want me to fuck with it too much, then I'm just going to scrap the whole thing. So he basically said, I quote, "The money's sitting on the sidelines ready to go. I just need to get everyone that wants to put in money to shake their hands to the same script. As you can imagine, everyone has a slightly different version of it in their head. You just go and trying to appease a handful of people while not giving in to what it is that I'm trying to do myself. Because if I have to change it too much, I'll just walk away from it all." And I'm like, I get it. His whole thing is he's writing and directing this. I mean, This is his baby. He created the character in the comics. This is his thing.
Sure.
But to be fair, some of the best Spawn stories are not by Todd McFarlane. Like some other writer wrote for that character. So, I mean, I get it. That's your thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else couldn't do a better job with something that you created. So, I mean, I don't know. Like,
kind of being a little selfish with it. Like, if I can't do it and do it my way, then nobody's going to do it.
But I kind of get it too, though, because
I would say us as fans don't always go with that.
I kind of get it because as a quote unquote creative person myself, if somebody was like, "Hey, we want to make your podcast, like a national radio show or some shit, or make it a YouTube thing, or who fucking knows." I would want to have creative control over it because it is my thing.
Right.
So I kind of get that. At the same time, it's like, hey, I would not be above having input and, constructive criticism to help me make it as best as it can be. Mm-hmm. So, because I think one of the big hangups he has is that he doesn't want to retell the origin story of Spawn, but
he kind of wants more of a continuation story.
Right, or we're just going to pick up at any point in his life and just go.
It's a comic, it's not continuous.
But I think that the financial backers are kind of like, hey man, like the Spawn movie came out in the 90s, man. Like we can't just pretend like people just love that character so much to where everybody just knows his thing. I would say
a lot of people don't even know who or what Spawn is.
Exactly.
So I can see where that would be hey, we need to kind of rope this generation in, especially since it's been 20 years since the last one.
Exactly.
He's
like, no, fuck all that shit, son.
Right.
And it's like, all right, well, we won't make this bullshit. You keep talking that shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know what he's going to end up doing. I mean, there's no telling with him. So, I guess, fingers crossed if this is something that you're looking forward to, I guess. Maybe. Perhaps.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I would like to see Jamie Foxx as Spawn, but I mean, Jamie Foxx ain't did a good movie in a while either, though.
I actually forgot about the Spawn movie. We talked about it like last year.
Yeah, a while ago. So, yeah, there is that.
And also, I noticed we're on episode 72 today, so that's pretty awesome.
I missed a prime opportunity 3 weeks ago to make a 69 joke when we did episode 69, and I'm still bummed about it to this day.
How do you miss a 69 joke?
I know. You would think me of all people.
You're right.
Yeah, no.
Like our show. If any show is going to make a 69 joke, it's going to be our show.
Yeah, no, missed a prime opportunity.
Ah, damn.
So, there you go. But anyway, yes.
You have to crack the joke on episode 96 and reverse it.
Reverse 69. Boom. Yep. There we go.
Got you.
There we go. Well, yeah, so that was...
movie tidbits.
Yeah, movie news for you boobs or whatever the hell we're going to call it.
We'll figure it out. But I like that. I like the little spitfire of, not specifically a trailer, but not specifically just...
Like one topic, yeah. It was just kind of like a collection of things.
Yeah, I like
and I don't even necessarily know if it'll always even be movie news. I mean, maybe it'll just be pop culture news in general. It could be something about a game or something. Because I almost wanted to talk about the PS5 and all that shit, but I was like, maybe next time. We'll give it a test run. We'll see how it goes over, and then we'll fine tune it.
Okay, sounds good.
It'll be a beautiful mess like everything else that we do. So
I think it'll fit right in on our show.
Yeah,
because this whole thing's a beautiful mess, and it works.
Mostly.
We're up to episode 72, and we have international listeners.
That is true.
I would say that's a win.
Yeah.
And we have people every day discovering us. So
yeah. That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I'll pat myself on the back.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd do it for you, but I can't reach you.
No, not from there. All right, moving on.
Oh yes, that's just what we need. Yet another pointless segment on the podcast. Why don't we just make the whole thing one of those insipid sketch comedy shows? Wait, you'd actually have to be funny for something like that.
It's that time again for America's #1 show, Dumb Shit of the Week. That's right, Dumb Shit of the Week is the show where DJ Melly Mel finds dumb shit and we talk about it. Want your submission on the show? Find us on Twitter at GiantLeap, the #4 Geeks, or you can email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. Now here's your host, DJ Melly Mel.
All right, thank you. Dumb shit has become probably one of my favorite things to do all week. I love doing our podcast, and I love doing just hanging out and doing bullshit with you. But specifically, when I come across dumb shit at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it takes everything that I have not to just send it to you and be like, oh my God. I actually have a folder on Facebook now that is specifically for dumb shit, so that when I find it at 2 o'clock in the morning, or whenever I'm scrolling and I can find it, I can save it, and it brings me joy to click on the folder and it says dumb shit. I don't know. Call it a little bit of journalism.
Hey,
and I guess I don't know.
Pulitzer Prize on its way. It's in the mail.
It's entertaining, nonetheless. This week, I found dumb shit quite early.
Okay.
Which kind of, I love.
We had 2 weeks to.
I know.
So you got to come hard.
I was on vacation, and it was one of the nights where I was laying up in bed 2 o'clock in the morning, and everybody's playing their video games and whatnot, because this house we stayed at, nobody sleeps.
Okay.
They sleep during the day. And anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling. Now, this is called I Froze. Not I froze, like I being cold. I froze as in eyelash fro, like afro.
Okay. All right.
It is a new eyelash trend where you place curly eyelashes over your eyelashes, and it straight up looks like a pube on your eye.
Oh.
Not a pube, a bush of pubes.
Oh.
Let me clarify for that. And you put it on
What
your...
the fuck?
I love your reactions. You put it on your top eyelash and not the whole bottom eyelash, which is weird.
It's like a little Hitler mustache on the bottom. It's just like a little thin...
A little thin piece on the bottom, and then the whole top eyelash on top.
What? Who?
I don't know. It started with some celebrity, and then it made its way to Twitter, and now it's taking off. There wasn't really an origin. It just was everywhere on Twitter with multiple pictures of multiple people in this giant
I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't like it.
It looks so fucking weird. Like, it really looks like somebody just took a chunk of somebody's bush and stuck it on their eye.
Yeah, or like a caterpillar sitting on your eyelid,
like a weird spider thing. I don't know why this would be popular. I don't know who in their right mind would think that this is sexy. Yeah, no, I'm gonna pass on this trend, as I do for most trends that we find for dumb shit. Because this is just scary looking.
It almost looks like somebody like lit something too close to their face and it like singed their eyelashes.
They're essentially synthetic eyelashes. Like most.
Do they got like a little mini pick you can stick in there too?
You know, I think so.
With like a little black power fist on it and just put a little pick in the eyelash.
There you go. You put the little black power fist where you put your eyeshadow. I don't know who would actually put this on their face. It makes my eyes itch just looking at it.
Yeah, I'm like...
Because it's so heavily concentrated in one area.
It seems uncomfortable.
Yeah. You would have to
like
put
it would be
a
like
lot
heavy
of glue
on your face.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to put a lot of glue on to hold these. And I don't know if you know, but I was chatting up a lady in the nail salon one day and she was getting fake eyelashes put on. She said that once you start to put fake eyelashes on, you have to do them for the rest of your life. Because the glue that puts on fake eyelashes...
pulls out your real ones?
Does something with the real ones so that they can't grow back.
Oh.
So, like, it stunts the growth of your real eyelashes.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
That's how you keep buying that shit.
Yeah, so then it's a never-ending process. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, she wasn't getting anything crazy like this. She was just getting regular...
No iFro?
No iFro for her. But... she's like, yeah, she showed me she had no eyelashes where she's like, I have to get them now. Can you imagine getting this iFro thing and it ripping out your natural eyelashes and you have to continuously put some kind of eyelash there? That would freak me out.
I don't get, like, who... Is this sexy to somebody? Because, I mean, the whole point of, like, women getting fake eyelashes in the first place is to look more appealing, you know, like, right?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not one. I don't even wear makeup, so you're asking the wrong woman here.
But I mean, the idea of any of this stuff is to be more attractive.
So.
But I'm like, who is that making wet or hard or...
I don't know, because it looks like freaking... you went down on somebody and come up with their bush on your face. Like, I don't know. I can't explain this. And I've noticed that dumb shit is filled with a lot of things that I can't explain, nor would I ever consider doing as a person. Like, as a woman who has watched beauty trends and just kind of looks at them and I'm just like, okay, whatever. None of these are things that I'd want to do.
Can we just go back to, like, having, like, meat dresses and all that other weird shit? Because I mean, this is
so freaking weird.
Now this is minor enough to where
you can't
I'm not
look
like
away, can you?
No, but I'm not like offended at it like some of the other ones we've talked about. But at the same time, I'm like, who is this for?
Yeah, I don't know.
It you know what it makes me think of? You know how when people just start doing something and they just have to commit to it, even though they know it's dumb or it don't look good, and they're just like, well, I've already did it, so whatever. Like, I've committed to this. And it's like, it feels like that is what's happening here, to where it's like, they know that this is a dumb, ugly beauty trend, but they're like, well, I spent the money on this shit, so I gotta wear them. Like, I'm not gonna just throw this shit in the garbage. It was $40 for these fake Afro eyelashes.
I feel like
I'm waiting for us to find out that it really is people's pubes and it's not synthetic hair, and they're just like selling this shit on Amazon,
selling it. Yeah,
eBay.
I don't know. Like I said, I couldn't find many stories about it.
Now, if you're a different hair color, like say you're a redhead, do you have to get red Afro eyelashes?
Yeah, I would think you'd have to. Your carpet's got to match the drapes.
Oh my god!
So if you got like these black eyelashes and bright red hair, people are gonna be looking at you like, yeah, I don't know about that.
You know what I want to see? I want to see some eyelash froze.
Okay.
With like some like frosted tips on the end. Maybe some. eyelash dreads. That's gonna be the
There
next.
you
Get
go.
braids.
Mm-hmm.
And just, oh man,
And
it's
you
gonna
know
be a whole
what? They
thing.
can throw that with the colored eyebrows
There you go.
and the colored underarms,
Oh my god.
and that's one sexy mofo right
I-
there.
everything in life is just horrible right now. Like I don't even know.
Yeah.
I will say this. There could be worse things you could be doing beauty, quote unquote, wise. But again, it's like I don't. Who was sitting around going, we need to re-innovate eyelashes? You know, eyelashes are just so plain and boring. We need to do something new and shocking. Like, no, you really don't. Like, it's fine to leave them just long or whatever the fuck you were
Just
doing
leave
before.
them natural.
Yeah, I mean, but some people don't really have eyelashes, so I am. I feel
pretty eyelashes.
I feel I am unfortunate in the fact that I have really long, thick eyelashes.
I don't
like-
think that's unfortunate.
Cause I'm a guy, so they get in my eyes, they fall off and shit, and they're just in the way. My dad used to make fun of me when I was a kid. He used to say that my eyelashes were like bat wings, and I'm like, thanks, dick. Like, I'm pretty sure I got some of this shit from you, but
Right.
probably more my mom than him. But still, I don't. So I mean, and plus I'm a man, so I don't care about that kind of stuff. So
Right.
I don't see the need or purpose for eyelashes to be any kind of way.
I
But
would say I'm a woman and I don't see the need for
Yeah.
eyelashes to be crazy. Like, it's whatever.
oh well, it could be worse. You know, they could be putting garlic in their pussy. I don't know.
People are doing that too,
yeah,
apparently.
yeah,
so.
that's the thing. So
But yeah, so that's kind of a step into my process of dumb shit, and that's this week's dumb shit. Public service announcement: if you're going to get eye froze, then don't, because it looks like pubes on your eyes.
yeah,
and
if you were thinking about it,
if you were
don't.
thinking about it, don't. If you weren't thinking about it, continue on and
Right.
don't.
Sorry for putting that thought in your mind. I guess.
Sorry, it's just not.
Yeah. No,
Not-
go look it up though, because I think
I was
the way we're describing it,
Twitter.
yeah, is not doing it justice. You need to see it.
I mean, I can share it.
Yeah. Don't do it though.
Just say no.
Don't become inspired by this,
If anything, run the other way.
or do. I
Just
mean, you
run.
know, or
Just
do.
run.
Hey, if anybody out there is listening, if you have a eye furrow, send it to us, please. Tweet at the Twitter page at Giant Leap, the number 4 Geeks. I would love to see it. I promise I won't make fun of you
Too
publicly. I mean, I'll laugh at you to myself, but I won't like give you a mean tweet.
We won't publicly humiliate you.
Maybe, probably, we'll see.
Maybe they should just email it to us, because we are the only ones that see the email,
Yeah, true.
whereas everybody sees our Twitter.
Yeah, but everybody who they know is gonna see their eye furrow.
That's
So I mean,
true.
hey,
That's
you ain't really hiding it. It's in the middle of your fucking face.
That's true. That's true. So,
Yeah.
stay smart, kids.
After a 2-week absence, this is what you come back with. Seriously, I mean, is this a joke? Was that really it? I mean, is that the whole thing? Jesus, I fucking hate you.
Hey, John, don't break his back. Put that man's face into a shredder. The minute you put a knife through his heart, then you can start to make it better. You have no idea how many times it took me to do that. You won't hear this, the times that I messed that up before, but that was what? Try number
5.
5, yeah, probably, yeah. That's what happens when you try to make up songs on the fly. Weird Al has perfected that shit, and I am not good at it.
You're gonna get a call from someone being like, "Can you like do our jingles for these commercials?"
It'd be nice. We are going to be reviewing John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, I think is how you say it.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, god damn. Oh, this is going to be a fun review.
No, not the movie, but the title. It's just John Wick 3.
Whatever, yeah. I, once again, will be joining you, Mike C. Squared, and I have my significant other with me, A-Train. Choo-choo.
I don't respond to that.
Yeah, well, that's what your name is.
My name is...
Yeah, it's A-Train on the podcast. I'm going to bleep out your real name. So that you don't control none of this shit.
I am...
If you have not joined us for a review before, what we do here is we try to do these mullet style. So there will be non-spoilers at the front and spoilers at the back. So if you have not seen the movie, you can sit and enjoy our generalized review for the first half. And if you have seen it, stay to the end because we will be able to go into more detail about what we thought about the film. Now, that being said...
Like, how is that going to work? People are going to die.
What do you mean?
Just people are going to die. That's the movie.
Well, yeah, it's more than just that. That being said, as well, our reviews we have a 5-tier rating system. It goes...
Really fucking hated it, meh, liked it, or loved it, and really fucking loved it.
Or, yeah. Close enough.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. I love how everybody has their own rating system, apparently. I learned something from watching this movie. John Wick has something against balls. And when I say balls, I don't mean basketballs. I mean nuts. There is so many nut shots in this movie. There are people getting their nuts kicked, punched, hit with objects, shot, stabbed, bitten, yanked off. I mean, anything you could possibly imagine that could happen to your balls being mutilated in some way, shape, or form happens in this movie. In watching it, I was thinking to myself, like, did they just mutilate nuts in the last 2 movies and it just never really, like, dawned on me until this one?
Probably not this bad.
Or did somebody just have a thing out for balls and they was just like, we just finna
The writer's probably
everybody.
A woman.
Damn. A female said that, so I will not get in trouble for that statement. That was A-Train, so that was not me. General thoughts off the top of the head, I really enjoyed the movie. My favorite part about the John Wick movies have always been the story.
Yeah.
I like the fight scenes, I like the action and all that stuff, but from the first one, I didn't know what to expect. I just was like, he's just some assassin dude killing motherfuckers because they killed his dog and shit. You know, that's kind of the whole joke of the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
But it's definitely about a lot more than just that. And they do a really good job world building from that first movie where you first see the Continental, the hotel where all the assassins stay, all the way to finding about the whole the high table, which is like pretty much the like upper echelon of the assassins who run the whole organization and give the orders to who can do what, and they set up this whole system. They have their own currency. There's these blood oaths and just this whole system of networking, and they have their own like internet pretty much.
It's very intricate.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like the whole like how they get messages out. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so from that first film, just looking at it at a glance, you wouldn't assume that there's this much extra layers to it.
No.
And that's why I enjoy this franchise, is because on its surface, it's just another dumb action movie, but once you actually sit down and watch it, it's actually about a lot more than that. And I feel that they did a good job in this film as well as continuing to build upon the lore that they've already established, because we get to learn things about John that we didn't know from prior movies, and kind of get a peek into how he became the way he is, and you know, his training and different kind of things like that. And I enjoyed that stuff a lot too. And they even take it all the way back to kind of like the origins of assassins and stuff like that in general, which I got some like kind of Assassin's Creed vibes in there. And I was like, this is really cool. Like, I like what they're doing here. That being said, how did you feel about the overall story this time around? Because I know we didn't get a chance to watch the first 2 movies recently, so we were kind of playing, or I was trying to kind of give you like catch up to where we were at that point, because this movie opens literally like 1 second after the last movie ended. Yeah. So we immediately go into it. There is no like, 2 weeks later or no shit like that. It's immediately just boom, go. What did you feel about the story this time around? Like, how did you take it?
I liked it. I think, like you said, there was a lot of backstory in it that we didn't know already. But I liked how they expanded on it and went further along with the whole story from last time.
Yeah. Now, do you feel, because, and we will get into this in the spoiler section, but one of the things I said when the movie was over was I kind of feel like the movie was a little redundant by the end, because where the story ends, I'm like, it almost kind of made me feel like, well, what was the point of everything before that? If this is how we're going to end it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you agree with that? Disagree?
I kind of do, especially with how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did we just sit through this movie for it to end like that?
Yeah. Now, if you've already seen it, you may know exactly what I mean, but if you haven't seen it, I'm trying not to spoil it as best I can, but there does come a point where it seems like a lot of what happens in the movie is for naught. And it's like, well, you kind of negated everything you did for the last like hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours or however long the movie was. Characters. Did you like the new characters that they introduced in this one?
I do.
Now, I didn't catch his name. I don't even know if they even say his name in the movie, but your boy from Hawaii 5-0, what was his name?
I have no idea what his name in it, but
who was he in Hawaii 5-0?
Oh, now I'm losing it.
What, Big Fat or
Wolfat?
Yeah, I was like Daddy Fat's next.
Wolfat. Yeah, I really liked him.
Okay.
He's also from what's that show? Iron Chef America.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's the announcer. He's like the Grand Poobah of the whole show.
The Grand Poobah. Wow. That's a way to describe it. All right, fair.
I liked his character, but then he was also like, meh.
I thought he was kind of goofy.
Yeah, he had his goofy moments, but then he was serious. Like, there was some really or they're trying to be funny in some parts of this movie.
It was like a weird humor.
It was
too, because like there would be points where like he's like sitting and he's just being weird, and it's just like, what is happening right now? Like I didn't know how to take him, because I'm like, and I don't know, maybe they were like, well, we are kind of sick of doing like the super serious, like villain, and they were kind of.
Well, I feel like a few of the villains in this movie had those kind of moments.
Oh, kind of goofy.
Yeah, because at one of the fight scenes,
like how
there's
do you mean?
two other men.
Oh yeah, but they were all a part of his crew.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like him and everybody associated
they were drinking
with him
the wacky
just
juice.
Goofy as shit. The wacky juice.
The wacky juice.
Oh,
had about 5 sips.
What about adjudicator? Is that what they call her? I think.
Yeah,
the
I think so.
Yeah. They say it a couple of times, and I think it's not like educator. It's
no,
like
I think it was adjudicator.
Yeah. What did you feel about her character?
I feel the whole time we were watching, I'm like, I know this woman from something, but I couldn't place her.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I liked the role that she played in the movie, but I feel like her character could have been a little different.
I liked her because she was very short, and to the point, and she wasn't there to bullshit. She didn't
sugarcoat anything either.
She like, this is the way this shit finna go down, and if you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, say something. I dare you. Like, there's a scene where she's talking to Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Wait, that wasn't Sam Jackson?
You are gonna have somebody. You gonna get hate mail for this.
I'm
shit.
sorry. I just mean this out of humor. Don't come for me, please.
It's too late. No, there's a scene where she's talking to Lawrence Fishburne's character, and one of his like henchmen or whatever is standing there, and she gives him her umbrella.
Yeah.
And then she just like stares at him, and she's like, hold this shit over me. But she never actually says anything. She just stares at him. And then like she goes to walk, and then she looks over at him like, follow me. And then it just keeps going. I was like, wow. Like, that was some gangster shit. Like, I was totally expecting, from the way she was presented, I was like, oh, okay, you know, she finna come doing like backflips and swords gonna be coming out and shit.
I thought that too, but no.
She was just there to talk some good shit and was just like, I'm finna sit back and watch y'all fuck some shit up. And,
yeah.
You know, I'm over here doing me.
Like, she had this presence about her that no one questioned.
No, hell no.
No one questioned her.
Hold this umbrella, bitch.
Like, she didn't have to prove herself or anything.
Nope. And plus, too, she worked directly for the high table.
Yeah.
So it was like, they know not to fuck with her. It's like, I dare you to do some shit.
The minute she laid her little special coin down to show who she was.
Everybody was like, I have served. I will be of service.
Yeah.
It's like, you goddamn right you will. Angelica Houston, her character. She's the Russian lady at the ballet. And
okay.
Shit. Yeah. Now, she's much older now, so I don't know if you'd recognize her, but she's been in a couple episodes of your show, NCIS, as well. Yeah. Okay, but that's not important. Fuck that shit. What's important is she's much older now, but back then, she was like one of my first, like, movie crushes.
Because she got red hair.
No.
She had red hair in NCIS, I'm pretty sure.
No, fuck all that. No. She was Morticia Addams in the Addams Family movies.
Pause for a minute. Did you hear they're doing a remake of that?
Yes, I heard.
Okay,
yes.
go on. ScarJo's in it.
Yeah, but it's going to be like CG or some shit, so she's going to be the voice. They're not doing like a live action movie. Anyway, regardless of the point, sidebar over. She played Morticia in the Addams Family movies, the mother.
Oh.
Yes. And I know you've seen, we've watched Addams Family.
Of course I've seen it. I'm just trying to... I don't picture the same face.
Well, whatever. She's Morticia Addams, and I was just like, she used to be. Mwah. Anyway, what did you think about her?
I liked her character.
She seemed like she was a cold ass bitch.
Yeah.
Man. When the chick was doing the ballet. Again, I was like, ooh, shit.
Yeah, but if you're in the position that she's in, you've got to be like that, though. Not like that tough, but you have to make... You're a woman.
These poor girls in the ballet was like toes peeling off and bruised up and shit. She's like, bitch, again.
If you're...
Fall again. I dare you.
Bitch, let me talk. I guess if you're the leader of an assassination group or something like that, you have to be respected, and especially being a woman...
Yeah, but the ballet people weren't assassins.
I feel like that was their training because
because okay,
they were all...
Don't spoil it. But there's something that happens later, and nothing.
Okay.
They get off scot-free, pretty much. And I was just like, if they were assassins, quote unquote, then they should have been involved in that too. But they weren't. They were just dancing and shit. Like, they had kids wrestling and beating each other the fuck up and all that shit, and they didn't show anything with them, so who knows what happened to them kids, but...
That's kind of where I was going, but I will expand upon that in a minute.
Okay. But you liked her character.
Yeah, I did.
And I really liked the relationship that her and Keanu had, because it was very, like, mother-son.
I feel exactly that's how it was.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Especially with what happens with them later, like you can just tell their emotions and how they interact.
What was she calling him?
Jardani.
Jardani. Oh, that was cool. Now,
like how you get John out of that, I don't know.
There's some Russian shit. Who knows?
Jardani.
But so. What about the returning characters? Is his name Wilson, the guy who runs the
it's something.
The Continental? I think so.
The main
Willis or whatever, I don't know. The guy who runs the hotel.
Like the guy who works the front desk?
No, not the guy who runs the front desk, the guy who runs the hotel.
I don't remember his name.
Whatever, fuck. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Italian looking dude.
Yeah. I really liked him. I've liked him in all three movies.
Yeah.
So
I thought he was kind of a dick in the last movie and kind of in this movie, but...
Yeah, but at the same time, he was one of the few people who actually had a good working relationship with John.
Yeah.
So, Halle Berry, how did you feel about her? I'm curious.
It took me a while to know that was Halle Berry.
Holy shit, really? The moment she walked out, I was like, that's Halle Berry.
It took me till just now.
Damn. Yeah, you know shit a while.
Well, I haven't seen her in a long time.
Sure.
I liked her character because, granted, I keep saying that to everyone, but it showed a different side of the movie.
Yeah.
Like
It was cool to have like a badass like character kind of there to, be like another.
Like she had a different style of doing things.
Yeah.
I liked her sidekicks too.
Yeah, them dogs wasn't no fucking joke, man. Man, when we were watching the movie, I was like, "Hey, Train, we gotta get a dog." I'm like, she was like, "Well, we gotta get nice dogs. We can't get me." I'm like, "They are nice until you get to fucking with them, and they'll fucking fuck your ass up. They'll be eating your nuts and shit."
I'll train them to get whoever comes to my front door.
Hell yeah, bite them right in the dick.
Have 2 little protectors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put some bulletproof vest on their ass and shit, and you good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Halle Berry's character enough. I wanted to know a little bit more about their relationship because they bring up things
that happened in the past.
Yeah, but they don't really explain.
No.
And she do some cold shit to him, like right before they leave each other.
Yeah.
And she's like, "All right, bye, bitch." He's like, "Ain't this a bitch?"
Like, I want to know what their past was like.
Yeah. All in all, though, I like the way that the movie was filmed. Everything as far as like the fight choreography was really cool. Like they have some crazy ass like kills in this movie where I was like, wow. Within the first like 5 minutes, they let you know like we ain't bullshitting. Like, whatever you thought this was gonna be, it ain't that, because we finna fuck some shit up.
You start the movie off with just gunshots.
No, it ain't even that. We don't even see. No, the first, like, and I'm not going to spoil it, but the first thing that happens is in a library.
Yeah, but
that was the very first fight, and that shit was crazy as hell.
From like the first moment the movie starts, you start hearing gunshots. I was pretty sure.
No, no. Oh, and that's one thing too. Quick sidebar: the intro to this shit was cheesy looking and whack. Like it was like a little 2-minute thing of just like bullets and guns and shit. And
maybe that's like, what I'm thinking
and just this whack ass rock music playing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It looked like a really bad like I was worried for a second. Like when it first started, I was like, "Ooh, this don't look good at all. Like what is this?" And then it went away, and I was like, "Okay, thank God."
Plus, we were so close to the screen, like it was a lot louder.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we weren't in the most ideal spot, but I think I could see everything well enough.
Yeah.
But no, as far as like the fight choreography goes, all the fight scenes were really inventive. There was one that got kind of repetitive with Halle Berry's character. I mean, the shit with the dogs was cool, but there is some points where it's like, okay, how many headshots can you do before this shit gets old? And it's like, is there just like a revolving door of enemies that just keep coming out? Because we're like about 10 minutes into this fight scene. I'm like, God damn, we're still doing this? Like
that was kind of like one of the ending fight scenes. How I felt about that.
Yeah. Where there comes a point where it's just like, okay, guys, like,
we get it.
Like, how many times can you fly through glass?
Exactly. Like that shit started to get tiring.
It was like, okay, goddamn, man, like just die or something already. But I like the story. I like the characters for the most part. I like their interactions, like all the returning characters, like Lawrence Fishburne, the guy who runs the Continental, obviously John. Like I really enjoyed all of them. The new characters I liked for the most part. My only gripes about the movie really is some of the pacing feels a little off. I feel like some of the fight scenes go for a little bit longer than they should have. That they could have trimmed it down a little bit. And I really have a problem with the way the movie ends. But other than that, I can't really say a whole lot about it without spoiling it.
Yeah.
And it's like, a bunch of motherfuckers die. I mean, A-Train said it. It's true. I mean, people gonna get killed and die, and it's a John Wick movie. Like what do you want?
We here to see them fuck some shit up.
Yeah, and they do proceed to fuck up a bunch of shit. So if that's what you're coming in here looking for, there's some comedic moments. Some jokes don't land as well as others, but because some are just like weird. We're just like, am I supposed to be laughing at this right now? This is just weird. And then there's other things that happen where I was just like, wow, like that was really, that was very self-aware of what this story has been so far, or what kind of movie this is. But it goes full speed ahead, and it's never boring. It's shot really well. Some of the settings are just like beautiful to look at. Like there's like parts of like inside of buildings that are lit up and stuff, and it just looks like beautiful. So there's a lot of just eye candy. The action's good. The pacing, for the most part, is pretty good. And overall, I did enjoy the story. I mean, if you've listened to any of my reviews, you know I can nitpick the hell out of some shit. I try not to, but it's like when something bothers me, it's really hard for me to let it go. But I still ain't got over that rat in Endgame, so I still ain't past that bullshit. But we're going to go ahead and give our our rating for the review, and then we will go into spoiler territory. So, what would you give John Wick Chapter 3?
I'm going to say I really fucking liked it.
Wow.
I was kind of like thinking I wasn't going to like it as much, because as you go on in a series, most of the time the movies aren't as good as like the first one.
You kind of get diminishing returns. Yeah.
But I like this series, and I really liked this one. It kept my attention. I started getting a little restless towards the end, but I really enjoyed it.
I am going to say I liked it. I can't quite go really fucking liked it, but I will say that I liked it. There was more things about it that I enjoyed than not, but it just, I don't know what it would have needed to really put me over into really fucking like the territory. But I mean, it's a solid movie. I mean,
oh yeah.
I still think that the first John Wick is still my favorite.
Yeah, I like that one.
But I do like this a bit more than a bit more than 2, but not as much as the first one. The first one is still like the gold standard in my opinion. But I mean, as far as the trilogy goes, all 3 movies are solid, like across the board. So if you like John Wick 1 or 2, this is a very strong installment into the franchise. So I would definitely say if you are even the slightest bit interested, go see it. You will like it if you like action movies, or if you even like Keanu. Like Keanu does this role is very catered to him and his acting sensibilities. He doesn't have to give big long speeches or monologues, but a lot of his character is physicality more so than vocalizing. But when he does speak, it's very powerful when he gets to the point, and it endears you to his character because he's kind of like the strong, silent type. But it makes you like him because you realize that he does have softer, more gentle sides, and he expresses that. But I still feel that he had more range to play with in the first movie. But as far as what he did in this, I think it was still good. Go see John Wick. If you have not seen it yet, it is a good film. And if you have seen it, stick around because we are going to go into spoilers. So, insert siren sound here.
The Baba Yaga.
Now to complain. Okay, so now that I can speak freely, the fight scene with Halle Berry and Keanu Reeves where they go to Casablanca and they are killing all the guards and shit because the dude shot the dog. For one, I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the dog is not dead. The dog ain't even hurt.
No, the bullet didn't even get to his skin.
Penetrate him, yeah. Because she had bulletproof vest on the dog. And I get it. Just the fact that he would shoot the dog pissed her off. But she was like, he shot my dog. He was like, I get it. That was one of the jokes that I thought was kind of funny. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And I just felt like what the other movie did well, or what this movie did well, was giving, and he even says it, consequences. He says it a few times in the movie, consequences to your actions and stuff. this movie did a good job of setting up consequences, because the whole first movie, it's basically, John could just kind of do whatever. And they was just like,
he was just out for a revenge.
Right, like, y'all shouldn't have fucked with him. Like, nah, he finna go fuck some shit up. The second movie, it was like, hey, man, like, you doing too much. You can't, you gotta calm the fuck down. And he was like, no, fuck that. That motherfucker betrayed me. I'm finna kill him in the Continental. I don't give a fuck. And it was kind of like, man, for y'all to be setting up all these rules in this whole world, like, he's kind of getting away with murder, like, literally. Yeah. And in this movie, they're like, no, there will be repercussions behind what you did. And all the people that helped John or kind of guided him or let him do shit. And
or even gave him, like, advice.
Right. They came after their ass with a vengeance. Like, it was crazy. So I really liked that they were establishing that, yes, there are going to be repercussions behind the actions from what you've done in the prior film. That being said, with everything that's going on, Halle Berry's character was quick to be like, I'm finna kill all these motherfuckers. And it's like, don't you know the situation John is in currently, and you doing something even more egregious, where you shooting one of the head people and shit, and John's like, don't do it, don't kill him. I'm like, you might as well kill him, because your dog ripped his dick off, and then you shot him in the leg. Like, you probably would be better off killing him at this point, because I don't know how you gonna come back from that.
No, he gonna hunt you down.
Thank you. If anything, he gonna be really after your ass because you didn't kill him. Now he dickless. And he got a peg leg. But but that fight scene, that is the scene I thought went on too long. I mean, you say the ending fight.
Yeah.
But for me, it was that middle fight where they're in Casablanca, because they are fighting them dudes in that desert for, I swear, like 20 fucking minutes. And it's just like, every kill is like, dog attack, shoot him in the head. Dog attack, shoot him in the head. Dog attack, shoot him in the head. I did too, the first 15 times they did it. After a while, I was just like, man, okay, I get it. Headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom. And even the ending fight where John's fighting all the SWAT team motherfuckers and shit, and they have the armor, and he keeps having to, like, get close to him and, like, shoot him in the head. I even thought that got repetitive and, like, went too long after a while, because I was like, God damn, because, like, he'd unload a whole clip into a motherfucker, and they not be dead, and he's like, shit, I gotta shoot him in the neck.
Because before, I'm like, why is he going through clips so fast?
Yeah. It's because he couldn't penetrate none of that shit. And that's why I was just like, what he told them before they even went into that fight, though, like, hey, like, these ain't, just no regular run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, they're like special bullets.
Well, no. He was like, they're not like run-of-the-mill regular just assassins. Like, these dudes are like professionals and shit. And he was like, he specifically gives him a certain gun and certain ammo to use. And then he goes out there and it's like, none of this shit works.
No.
And then they come back and he's like, all right, armor-piercing slugs and all this shit. And it's like, why didn't you just do that in the first fucking place? Anyway.
To have that scene.
I guess. The library scene is the dopest shit in that whole movie. Mm-hmm. When he killed that motherfucker with that book, that shit was out fucking cold. He put the book in his mouth and slammed that shit and then, like, broke his jaw. Then he laid his neck on the book and, like, broke his neck over that shit. I was like, holy shit. Like, that is the first 5 minutes of the movie. I was like, okay, they is not bullshit. Like, they set the bar super fucking high. And I feel like the first half of the movie I enjoyed more than the second half. There's more story in the second half, but as far as, like, the fights, like the shit with the horses, that was cool as hell. When he slapped the horse ass and he kicks the shit out the dude, or when they're on the motorcycles and shit. I thought that was cool.
I didn't like it when he, like, dug into the dude's eye.
Oh, with the knife?
I can't stand when they start digging at people's eyes.
That whole fight scene in that hallway with the knives, that shit was dope as hell. He was, oh my God. I mean, like, surgical with that shit. He in the nose, or in the knee, in the shoulder, in the hand, in the dick, in the dick, in the dick, in the dick. I swear to God, I'm not even exaggerating this. If you've seen the movie, go back and watch it again. And I want a dick count of how many dicks and balls were destroyed in this movie. I want a counter to pop up every time. Just ding, ding, ding. Because, oh, God. I felt uncomfortable after a while watching it. Because I was like, man, like, y'all really got something for just fucking motherfuckers in the dick up. But I liked how they established with Angelica Houston's character how her assassin, like, group or whatever like takes in orphans and teaches them to be assassins, and that's kind of where John got his training from.
Yeah.
And she brought him up through the ranks, and then he went off and, you know, started doing his own thing. But she owed him a debt because, you know, I guess he had that crucifix thing. And,
his ticket.
yeah, and which was crazy that they take that shit off and branded him with it and shit to give him passage to Casablanca or whatever. And just all that stuff was really, really cool. What I don't like is that by the end, when the adjudicator is like, we finna punish all the people who helped John, and either you gonna have to give up the Continental or we finna kill your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And John comes there to kill him because that's how he gets back into good graces with the High Table. Is he's like, you got to go kill him to get your excommunicado lifted and shit and get reinstated. And so he goes there and he's like, I'm not gonna kill him, and we boys. And then he do all this shit and kill all these motherfuckers in the hotel. And then by the end, he's like, fuck you, John, sorry. And just shoots the shit out of his ass and he falls off the roof. I'm like, okay.
Like, why did we just go through all that?
This is my thing. I thought that it was going to be revealed that that was a setup to make it look like they killed John, and then that's how he would be able to go free.
That's what I thought.
But no, it was like, he thought that he killed him.
Yeah.
At least the way they played it. And he's like, Lawrence Fishburne has his people come collect John and take him away. And he's like, John, and he's like, are you pissed off and this, that, and the other? And when and fuck all this High Table bullshit and we finna kill these motherfuckers. And I'm like, so he did try to kill John.
Yeah.
I'm like, ain't that a bitch? Like, what kind of shit? Like, that was supposed to be your boy. He spared your fucking life, and then you immediately turned on him. And what don't make sense about that to me is, like, he has been the constant person helping John through every movie.
Oh, yeah.
He could have just had John killed in the last movie. He gave John an hour head start.
Yep.
For what? To turn on him by the end of this? So I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe they're going to pull some shit. It's like, oh, it was me trying to save you, John. It's like, whatever. My problem, more so than the double cross, is John done been through a lot of shit. We didn't see him. That ending fight scene, they throw him through like 19 fucking windows and glass and all that shit. He done got hit by cars, fell through shit, stabbed, shot, beat the fuck up, choked out,
be dead.
Drowned, all kind of shit. Fine. He shoot him point blank. Now, granted, he has a bulletproof suit on, so whatever. But he shoots him point blank, and John falls off a roof into an alley. And I don't mean he just fell.
No.
This motherfucker, like, pinball bounced off of, like, a whole bunch of shit the whole way down. He hit, like, an awning, a fire escape, another roof, a dumpster and shit, then hit the ground. And I'm like, he ain't getting up from that shit. I'm sorry, man.
Well, you saw him in the cart. He was kind of just slumped.
Well, yeah, and then they dump his body out, but he still get up and he can turn his head and talk. And I'm like, okay, if you aren't dead, which you should be dead, every bone in your fucking body should be broken at this point. That's where I kind of felt like they jumped the shark a little bit, because I'm like, man, he ain't walking away from that shit, man. I'm sorry. Now, granted, he didn't walk on his own, but am I crazy?
No, I don't think you are. Like, he should be dead.
Thank you. Because, no. Like,
or
no.
have a couple of his bones just sticking out.
Something, right? I mean, if his whole arm should have been like a pretzel behind his body when they picked his ass
Harry
up.
Potter's.
Right. When he tries to fix Harry's arm after he breaks it in the Quidditch match and shit, and just
rubber.
Rubber. That's how his whole everything should have been. He should have just been like a marionette strings and just spaghetti body. Like, he should have been like some Weekend at Bernie's type shit by the end of it. Because I'm like, there's no way in hell. Like, you can't. No. Hell no. One of the things, though, that I did think was cool was about how they went back to the origins of the assassin. You know, it felt like some Assassin's Creed shit. Because they took him all the way back to, like, the Middle East and shit.
Oh, yeah, the desert.
Yeah, and they even made him cut his ring finger off. When that happened...
That was so gross.
I was like, oh, shit. I was like, he is the Assassin's Creed. Because in the games, for those that don't know, if you've never played the Assassin's Creed games, the very first game, they have the thing that's the hidden blade, the little knife that comes out of their wrist.
Okay.
And what they would do is they would cut off that ring finger, so then the knife would come and it would come through that gap between where your ring finger was.
Ew.
So you would have it and the blade would be like sticking out through here, so then you could stab people with it and shit. But in later games, they make it to where the blade sits at a different point, so it doesn't have to go in between your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And you could still use it to stab people and shit, but it was still cool, the idea that they carried on of, you don't necessarily need it to function, but we do it as a sign of, like, allegiance or whatever to the creed. And I was like, that's cool. Like, they took it back there. I wanted him to get the white hoodie and shit and a fucking eagle and, I was like, oh, this shit gonna be dope as hell. He gonna be jumping off buildings. That's why he didn't die, because he is the Assassin's Creed now. No. I did enjoy that, and I feel that, and by the end of this, there is apparently going to be a John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Because I said this in the theater. I want to know how you feel. Do you want to see another John Wick after this?
I feel like they could have wrapped it up with this one.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, just the whole story we went through and, like, how he pays for what he did and whatnot. Like, I get it. The next one's supposed to be about taking down the high table and everything like that. But they could have just wrapped that all into this one.
I agree. I thought that was the whole point of this one, is that he was going to just tear all this shit down.
Yeah.
That was the only way he was going to be able to survive, is he would have to destroy the whole, system.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
No.
At all. If anything, the whole point of this movie was for him to get to them to ask for forgiveness, to let him live, and then by the end, now it's like, oh, now we finna take it down. It's like, you were right there with the dude. You could have killed him right then. Like, he didn't even take your gun. He said, your weapon, he said, don't worry, your weapon is still there. He's like, drink. And I'm like, so if your goal wasn't to kill him, and it was to get back in their good graces, you had to have known that they was going to make you do some foul shit. Like, what did you think was going to, I don't know. And Halle Berry even says to him, she's like, John, you're going to die. She's like, if you don't die out here in this fucking desert, like, you going to die later, but you are going to die. Like, you ain't finna just walk away from all this shit. And I just kind of felt like by the end of the movie that it was kind of a moot point. And it was redundant, because the whole point of this story was, how is John going to get out of this situation where everybody wants to kill him? And then by the end, it's like, everybody still wants to kill him.
Yeah.
They
Maybe
just tried
even
to kill
more
him.
now.
Yeah, I know, even more so probably now at this point. Because now, even after the one above the table, or whatever the fuck they were calling him, who shall not be named, Voldemort of this shit, even when he says, all right, cuz, I got you. I'm going to let you be back in the Assassins, but you got to go kill this other dude over here. And then you
Was
turn
that guy
on him.
the Baba Yaga?
No, John is the Baba Yaga.
Oh.
That's what they call him, the Boogeyman.
Oh, okay.
That's from the first movie.
Gotcha.
That's why when he disappears and the girl tell him, like, oh, he's not on the street no more, he's like, Baba Yaga. And
Yeah.
shit. He's the Boogeyman. But, because she makes it a point to say, like, we don't want this motherfucker visiting neither one of us in our sleep or some shit. And I'm like, yeah, he finna kill both of you. But that was my whole thing, though. I was like, that was the main dude that he cut his finger off for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, once you double cross him, like, the fact that he even gave you a second chance, I was like, yeah, this shit ain't finna fly. And even after everything you did to get to him, which, after they shot up that dude and all his people, I was like, oh, there ain't no way in hell he finna... And he's like, all right, it's cool. I got you, fam. I got you. And then you turn around and spit in his face a second time? I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, it's a wrap. Like, there shouldn't even been no give me a second chance scenario in the first place. So now, by the end of it, it's like, well, what was the point of the movie again? Because... you didn't achieve anything. Like, if anything...
We're just at square one again.
Right. You're, like, back even further than when you started at the beginning of this. And you were at, like, 0.0 then. So I don't know. I mean, I know I sound like I'm complaining. I did really like the movie. All the fight shit is cool. All the world building shit is cool. It's that damn story where I'm just like, why did you do all this if this was how it was going to end? I don't know. Do you think we're going to see Halle Berry again?
I hope
she's
so.
Be the fourth one?
I hope so.
You just want to see them dogs again.
Well, I want to get some more of the backstory.
Yeah. Because she did him dirty as hell.
She did.
It was a little bit of... First off, they get to the desert. They got one bottle of water. She give, like, 2/3 of that shit to the dogs, first off. And I was like, wow. Like, I love how the dogs get some water. It's just like, fuck us. Then, what's left, she goes to give it to John. Then she pulls it away. She drinks all of it. Gargles it. Swishes it around in her mouth. And then don't even try to, like, dribble it back into the bottle. She just goes... and just spits it at the bottle. So, like, 2 drops gets in there. And then she's like, here you go, bitch. And then she's like, bye, John. And he looks like, ain't this a bitch?
Yeah.
He took it. He's like, hey, fuck it. I need some water. Fuck it. Shit. But I'd like to see her back. I'm pretty sure we're probably going to see Angelica Houston's character come back.
Probably.
You know, because they crucified her ass and stabbed her through the hands and shit. One last thing before we go. We talked about this last night. What the hell happened with the 2 guys that John was fighting?
Oh, I don't know. They gave up.
So there's the scene where John is having a 1-on-2 fight or 2-on-1 fight against the 2 short Asian dudes with the ponytails.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the knives and shit. And they keep talking about how it's an honor to fight with John. And they helping him up and shit. Like, oh, this motherfucker's slow. And he's like, well, he's been retired for 5 years and yada, yada, yada. And they're fighting and they whooping John ass for a while. And then John starts coming back and beating their ass. And then by the very end of the fight, they all fall through the glass floor. And John gets up, and they start going to get up, and then John look at him, and he says, be seeing you around. And they just say, fuck it, and just lay back down. And I'm like, wait, so did they die? Did they give up?
I think they just gave up.
Yeah, it's like, man, I'm sick of this shit. I'm tired. Like, fuck it. I did like how Wolfat, I know that's not his name in the movie, but that's what we call him. Wolfat, by the end, how after he gets stabbed in the chest, he's just sitting there with the blade in him. He's like, that's a pretty cool fight, huh, John? I was like, that's what I'm saying. His character was so goofy. I was like, even in death, you know, he's like, oh, I'm going to catch up to you, John. And he's like, no, you ain't. And he's like, you're right. And he just dies and shit. And I'm like, wow. I don't know. I mean, go see the movie, please. Or go see it again if you've already seen it. I hope so if you go into this far. But I don't know.
We'll see.
People say I hate everything. Maybe I do.
You do.
Know. I do. I hate myself. But it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't take that away from it. I don't necessarily like how it ended, but it was a fun ride to get to that point. Anyway, any last final parting words about John Wick?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we talked about everything.
Okay. Well, thank you again for sitting through one of our reviews. I hope that you enjoyed this. Maybe I will be able to get A-Train to come back and join us to do another one of these again sometime soon. But until then, thanks for sitting in and listening, and we will see you guys next time. All right, that is it for the show. Remember, you can always find us at our home, onegiantleapforgeeks.libsyn.com. We are on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or anywhere else you get your podcast. Make sure to show us some love, so go ahead and take your little fingers, hit that like, subscribe, rate, follow, review, and all that shit.
And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or criticisms, or you just want to say hi, you want to make fun of me for stumbling on my words, whatever, you can send us an email at officialoglfg@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks. We're on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. I'm on Pinterest, but y'all don't want to hear that. And all you got to do is search for One Giant Leap for Geeks. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.